see yourself. You have any idea what you look like right at this moment, Spike?
What?
A ravenous beast. The same blood runs through both of us. The blood of a beast who wanders, hunting for the blood of others.
I bled all that kind of blood away.
Then why are you still alive?
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies for Nerds New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka 75 degrees is room temperature, with my co-hosts.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Pumpkin Pie.
Keeping the pumpkin thing going. You know what? I just thought about something. Somebody had said something earlier that like you had the like sweet potato is just a black food. Have you ever had sweet potato before? Sweet potato pie?
Yeah,
Okay. So I don't know.
I've
Maybe
had
maybe
sweet
it's
potato.
maybe that's a myth. Maybe it's like the chicken thing.
but you know what? I had a black stepmom, so maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe that's the thing.
She introduced me to cornbread. I didn't know what cornbread was until she.
You know, cornbread.
came on.
Come to Mississippi. That's all you.
She was
you
from
get corn-
she was from Alabama. Yeah,
Cornbread is almost considered a vegetable down here.
grits. Never
That's
knew
what-
any of that shit.
Grits.
Pork rinds.
Pork, I stay away from pork rinds. They sell them in gas stations, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, reason I'm saying that because, like I said, sweet potato pie, get it every Thanksgiving. But I don't think I've ever had pumpkin pie in my life.
Really?
I don't think I ever had.
They're very similar. They taste similar.
Right, and that's the thing. Like somebody brought up earlier that I was like, "Have you ever had pumpkin pie?" And I'm like, I don't think I ever had. Like sweet potato pie. Yeah, I eat sweet potato pie all the time, but pumpkin pie never did. So maybe there's a difference. Maybe there's not. I don't know.
I mean, I think. Let's see. I don't know. They're both sweet. They're similar, but you know, I think
Okay.
pumpkin pie might be a little sweeter. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a vote. I'm gonna do a vote. Maybe not on this podcast. Later on, we're gonna vote to see what's more popular: pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie. We'll do that later on. But yeah, like I said, this is the week right before Thanksgiving. But since we all woke now, we're gonna celebrate Thanksgiving. So right now, we're gonna call it the day before Black Friday, Black Friday Eve. You know,
There you
that's
go.
been because it's funny that in October we're always like the only Christopher I acknowledge is Wallace and fuck Christopher Columbus, and then we turn around and say Happy Thanksgiving. So it's like it's all one thing, but you know, honestly, it's past the holiday. It's all about just celebrating with your family or putting up with your family for one day. You can get back to
Something
work.
like that. Yeah.
Something like that, so we can move on past that. So, Eli, I think you're up. I'm gonna let you start off with this. Let's see what to go. All the viewers and listeners, I don't know if you see like the graphic we got on the background. We got like moving backgrounds now. We have raised our budget, so yeah,
All the razzmatazz.
exactly all the money we get from the podcast we put into this, which is zero, but that's okay. So, all right. So I'm gonna let you start off because honestly, I don't know what this is or who this guy is. Yeah,
This guy,
this guy. Yeah.
Art LaFleur, character actor. He was been in a bunch of movies. The Sandlot. He played Babe Ruth in The Sandlot. He was in Field of Dreams.
Who is he playing in Field of Dreams?
The guy.
Okay.
I always seen that. I Feel the Dreams.
I'm thinking
like,
he was playing like Babe Ruth in that also. Like it's like
another
all in
baseball movie. Yeah.
one cinematic universe. You know.
Yeah, it's been like a couple decades at least since I've seen Field of Dreams, so I really don't remember. So
I barely remember anything about Field of Dreams other than
Yeah.
because I think James Earl Jones was in both almost everybody was both in Field of Dreams and Sandlot. So let's just assume they're both in the same cinematic universe.
yeah, they're both baseball movies. So
Yeah.
but he was also in The Blob, the remake of The Blob, 1988, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I watched that on the reg. He played the dad in that. But he's been in a lot of movies, character actor. Anyway, he passed away. Parkinson's disease. I guess he's been battling it for a while. Yeah, so rest in peace at Art LaFleur. You've seen him before. I'm sure you've seen him
I've seen him before. Like I said, when you said Field of Dreams, I remember him as the guy. But I just remember Baby because honestly, I've seen Sandler like so many times.
He
I could
was
probably
Zone Troopers. There's a movie about Nazis and aliens. Um, it's almost like a comic book movie. In fact, there was comic book art. That was a thing in fact, the movie, they even said, no one's going to believe this story. You should make a comic book. And at the end credits, it shows the comic book about World War II.
That sounds like an 80s movie.
Yeah, it was the
Okay.
80s movie. It was like a bunch of soldiers in World War II fighting the Nazis, and then these aliens crash land and help them fight the Nazis.
Okay, so yeah, why not?
Zone Troopers, check it out.
Zone Troopers. Okay, so yeah, rest in peace, Frank LaFleur.
Art LaFleur.
Art LaFleur. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
good
thinking
journey,
something.
good sir.
Okay. So, like I said, we're going to move into it. Like I said, anybody that is looking at the title of the podcast, we're just going to jump into it. If you came here looking for what we're going to say on Ghostbusters, Eli, have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
I have not seen it either. So, if you came here looking for that, wrong podcast. We are talking about something else because we're even going to talk about this because, like I said, we're going to talk about the Cowboy Bebop Netflix review. We don't know how long we're going to go on it, but we are going to dig into it and go deep because there is a lot of chatter on social media right now about it. So we're going to address all the chatter and the conversations addressing the movie and what we think about the TV show also. I honestly, when I first announced it, I actually had no interest in even reviewing this until you, Eli, you came out the closet and admitted you were an otaku. So I was like,
well, for this one, this is the only
for this
only
one.
anime, yeah, only anime
Right.
I
I
know.
mean, it's like even if you're not into anime, like Cowboy Bebop is like your hall pass, your gateway drug. You know, you may not be in the anime. You like, for instance, like country music. I don't like country music, but I listen to Shania Twain, or I at least watch her videos. You know, that'll make me a country music fan. You know, same way with anime. I don't like anime too much, but I watch Cowboy Bebop because it's that entry level, you know, anime.
A lot of people say that this was their gateway into anime.
I mean, a lot of times for a lot of people, this was their first anime they ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, other than, you know, Voltron, Speed Racer, do they count? I would count them.
I don't know if they do count because
I
they're
count them.
you know,
It's a technicality, but I count them.
you know, I mean, yeah, Voltron was like after school cartoons, you know.
But
so
it was still from Japan.
it was Japan,
It was
Battle
animation.
of Planets,
Yeah.
you know, Battleship Yamamoto. I mean, all them shits that
Gundam Wing, you know, all that stuff like that. So yeah, so it all counts. So let's just throw Cowboy Bebop because honestly, like those ones we just named, you can almost see the influence of those animes in Cowboy Bebop. Like I said, Cowboy Bebop takes from everything. So you can even see influences from those also. So yeah, so like I said, we're just gonna jump into it. So even like I said, we're not, if you come in here looking for anime reviews from us on a regular basis, this is not the podcast. We do not do that. We are the comic book bullies, not the anime bullies. But however, just this one time, we will be otakus. So we will be weebs or weebos, whatever they call it. I don't know. We'll be blurs. Eli, you're honorary blur today. So yeah. You get your 24-hour pass. So yeah. All right, so let's just jump into it. So like I said, we're gonna jump into it. Eli, I'm gonna let you start with it. Like I said, this is your baby. Now, like I said, I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop before you mentioned it and said it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I was like, you know what? Let me sit down and let me watch it. I watched it. Awesome. It's everything you said it was. But actually, when I watched it, I was just like, they're gonna make a TV show of this? I don't know. It's a tall order, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna just let you talk about it, just see what your thoughts about it first. Like I said, this is your gateway drug in the anime.
Okay.
Uh-oh, here we go.
All right. I didn't hate it. Because I thought I was. Yeah, yes, I love the anime. I've said it before. I've leading up to this, I've been talking about it, how I don't think this is necessary. There's no need for a live action Cowboy Bebop. The anime is perfect in my eyes. Like I said, I think it's
like
up
other
there.
animes can't even match it.
It's just a perfect,
in my opinion.
Yes. It's just it is one of the best forms of storytelling in any medium. in my eyes. Like I said, I'll put it up there with The Godfather and Shakespeare and, the Mona Lisa. It's just a work of art. So I didn't feel I didn't feel.
Not to cut you off. Well, to cut you off, but if you look on YouTube, like I said, there are so many think pieces on the anime of Cowboy Bebop, or the philosophy and discussions and deconstructions of what they thought the show meant, or what the show was trying to tell you. Not just like the deconstruction of the story structure of it and how it influenced, but just what the story was trying to say. And it's deep. But I'll let you go for it, Naya.
Yeah, so I was very skeptical about a live action adaptation. So I went in with very low expectations. I went in expecting to think it sucked, expecting to hate it. And I watched it and I didn't think it sucked. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was great. I'm not like head over heels saying, "Oh, this is awesome." But I think it did just enough to make me watch the next episode. It felt more like a tribute to the anime.
Right.
It felt more like they were paying homage. Like they didn't totally adapt the show. They didn't do the exact storyline. It's more like they're paying tribute. You can tell that they tried, that they did embrace the anime, that they did they tried to capture the spirit of the anime, but they didn't try to replicate, because you can't replicate the anime, and they didn't try to. So yes, they went on, they changed storylines, they changed background stories of characters. John Cho, surprisingly, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we were gonna get into that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it did just enough to keep me interested. As a fan of the show, I noticed plenty of Easter eggs. Oh, there's that. But in the end, I still felt it lacked that emotional depth that the anime had. It felt it was. I did generally laugh. There was some parts where I generally enjoyed. I thought some of the action was great. I thought the atmosphere was great. I liked the set pieces. It reminded me of Legion, the the X-Men show, Legion. It reminded me of that. The spaceships. There was stuff that I did like. But there was stuff that I did not, mainly Vicious and Julia. That whole storyline, I did not give a shit.
A lot of people have voiced their opinions or criticism on.
I wasn't into what they did to Vicious. I didn't like what they did to Julia's character, turning her into like just this mob wife who all of a sudden decides to be a fucking mob boss out of her ass at the end. I did not give a shit about any of that. I liked the ambiguity of her character from the anime, and how she was like this sort of femme fatale. She was this female assassin. She was a legitimate part of the crew. She was a part of the syndicate. And in this the live action, she's just like this, just Vicious's girlfriend.
My wife, like you said.
Yeah. And I wasn't into what. They kind of did the Anakin route.
Completely changed Vicious.
Yeah, he was not the badass that I remember. But I thought the main cast, John Cho as Spike, I thought he was great. I thought those three. I thought the guy who played Jet sounded just like Jet.
Yes,
on the fucking cartoon or the anime. Sorry. I thought, even though they changed Faye's character, I thought she added a little pizzazz to, she added to that, I thought that the core cast was good, but
the cast around it kind of.
Yeah, I guess it still lacked that tragic beauty, I guess. That's what there's that melancholy feel to the anime. You know, I mean, the anime is wild. It mixes all this. It mixes westerns and film noir and Tarantino movies and gangster flicks and kung fu. I mean, it's a mishmash of all this, you know, all these cultures into this anime. And but there was always this sort of like tragic melancholy to all the characters because they all had tragic backstories, but they found a bond. They made a reluctant bond. You know, they formed this reluctant family with each
Right.
other.
They lost their family and they became family.
They were all damaged. They were all broken characters, and they came together, and that's what made them a sort of this surrogate family, and that kept them going. It gave them purpose, but they were all suffering, you know, amongst themselves, you know. And I felt like the Netflix version sort of went for more camp. It went campy. It went more a little zany, you know. And at times it worked. There were, like I said, there was generally humorous moments where I actually laughed out loud, and I enjoyed. But I felt it was more of just a campy tribute to the anime, you know. So like I said, I didn't hate it. I thought it did
You
just
feel like they
enough.
didn't juggle the tones as well as the anime.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I guess I'll say this. I don't feel like they fucked up the anime. I think if you're not familiar with Cowboy Bebop and you watch this show, you will go, "Oh, I want to check out the anime now." And that's what I was concerned with. I thought this was going to totally suck and turn people off and, you know, yeah, fuck up the legacy of the anime. I don't think it's that bad. I know a lot of people do,
Right.
but I'm not one of them.
But a lot of them are assuming that before they even seen it, you know.
Yeah, and I did
Or they
too.
already
Like,
going in with negative connotations, just
yeah,
like
I
I'm
was
coming in
expecting to
hate
hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting to think it was going to suck. I didn't think it sucked. So, and that's coming from a diehard fan. So,
Okay. All right. It's on me now. Okay.
yeah,
All right. So, like I said, you're diehard. This is your baby. I just came into this property a month ago, maybe a month and a half. Yeah. Watched the complete thing in subs, not dubs. So I actually watched it twice to kind of like really get the meat of it and see what's going on. Now, the thing about Cowboy Bebop, the difference between the cartoon, anime cartoon, whatever you want to call it, versus the TV show. Eli, you said it didn't balance the tone. I feel like it didn't balance the tone as well as the anime, and how could it? However, I do think they gave the honest try for it, and sometimes I did feel like they did have an honest melancholy tone in it. Because here's the thing: a lot of people are gonna watch this anime or watch this TV show, and after 2 episodes, like, I can't get into the shit. I'm cutting this shit off. Fuck this show. And if you do that, no problem with it. You know what? I agree with you on that. However, Eli, the more I watch this episode, watch the TV show, and around like episode 7 or 8, I was locked in. For some, I don't know what it was. Like the episodes got better and got more into it, especially when we went into like Spike's backstory, which the anime never actually went into. Like they may have hinted at, but never just had like a complete dedicated episode to it. And when we get into the backstory here, and I was into what's going on at the very end, you know, where like this whole conflict that Jet and Spike had with each other, and it came to a head. I felt that confrontation. I felt that pain.
yeah, that was one of the things that worked. That they did change. That did
Yeah.
work. You know,
Because that was never a thing. I mean, it's like Spike and Jet in the cartoon had a like work relationship, basically. Like,
yeah, they
whatever you do
respected
in your
each
part,
other.
they
Yeah, there was a
respect each other,
respect.
yeah. And they respected their boundaries. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, if you into some heavy shit, whatever you do, that's your business. If you go off on your own, whatever, you come back. In this one, you know, he wanted like, look, if we're gonna be partners, we're gonna be in this. I need to trust you every step of the way. And plus, adding, you know, the Jet has a family, because I don't think he had a family in the anime, did he?
No,
Or
not
a
a
daughter at least. Yeah,
Well, he had that girl. That's the girl.
he had
The
that girl, but
girlfriend. Yeah,
yeah,
with the watch. You know, the whole time stand still.
yeah.
Um,
Which there's a whole bunch
yeah,
of symbolism between that, just in that one
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah. But then they gave him a daughter in this one, so you already know what's going to happen. Anytime a hero has a daughter, you know
Yeah,
what's
they sort of added this sort of family, like again, the zany, the zaniness. There was this family sitcom element. Oh, I gotta go get to my daughter's birthday, and the episode where he's
I love that episode, man.
yeah,
I
where
know
he's
when he
he's
was
the
doing the thing,
hologram and
but
shit, and
in the background, Spike was getting his ass whooped,
Spike is fighting off
and
like
then the
thugs in the
bartender
back.
was like,
Yeah,
"Can I help you?" I thought I
yeah,
was laughing my ass off at that scene.
yeah.
I thought that's
Yeah,
I think that was around like episode 6 where I was like, "Okay, I see what you're doing, Cowboy Bebop." I'm starting to
yeah.
get into it. But yeah, that's my thing about it. I just feel like the show started finding its groove towards the end. But at the beginning I felt like it was trying to be so faithful to the TV show that I think it was hurting itself because it's trying to be so faithful, trying to copy something. Whenever you copy something, it has no soul, has no spirit. And I feel like those first episodes felt like that. It was like, if I'm going to watch this, I just watch the anime. But the more it went on and the story started diverging from the anime, just a little bit. Like I said, if you've seen the anime, you know where this is going for the most part.
There was there's plenty of Easter eggs. There's stuff. There's familiar beats from the anime that they threw into this, the live action version. That's sort of but it wasn't the same. It's just like
they'll
this
adapt episodes, but they'll change them up.
Yeah, there's certain storylines, there's certain characters that were just dropped in there just for fans to say, "Oh, I know that," but it wasn't like a beat for beat remake. And I was fine
And
with that.
I was glad they didn't do that. Some people are mad about that they didn't do that, which I didn't want to see that.
Yeah, because you're not going to replicate the anime, and I should say it was the show was more of an embrace. It embraced the anime. It embraced like the wackiness, and they ran with that, and that's what I'm fine with. I'm fine that they didn't try to like do this totally, beat for beat story, like try to just replicate it. And they didn't try to do that. And that's why I don't hate it as much as I do.
As much as the internet
I don't
does.
hate it. As
Right.
I don't hate it. I was
Right.
expecting to, because
And like I said, this show has its flaws. Don't get me wrong, this show has its flaws.
Yeah.
Some of the fight choreography, this ain't the Raid.
No.
That but I will say this, the set design, I think the set design is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it gives you a feeling they're in outer space,
Yeah, I mean that episode where Spike goes in and takes out the cartel, John Wick style, that was pretty cool.
That was great. That was great. Yeah.
I was even the Pierre, I didn't like what they did with Pierre LaFleur.
He was always kind of goofy though, so that's the thing.
But the thing is, that was the episode. That was the first episode I ever saw. I was watching Aqua Teens or whatever. I was Adult Swim. And here comes this episode where this flying clown guy is, shooting at, I was like, what the hell is this?
Now, here's the thing.
That was the episode. That was the first episode of Cowboy Bebop I ever saw. And I was like, oh, I better start watching this.
Now, that's one thing I did like that I actually like about the TV show over the anime. And people can have a preference on because the TV show actually had a through narrative. Because they actually tied, the Perrier to the whole plot of everything else. Where in the cartoon, he was just a one-off thing that Spike just happened to just run across. So it kept building and amping up. So
I know
it's a little thing.
They made where Vicious pays Crazy Pete.
Right.
That's what it means.
He's a hired assassinist instead of just somebody that just happens to be there. And instead of being afraid of cats,
government, he was afraid of dogs and just government experiments.
So that way you could tie iron into it, So but my thing about this, I think that if nobody ever seen Cowboy Bebop, like not familiar with the anime, don't know what's going on, I can't picture them getting to this show. I can't because I think the story structure throws you into too much of it and just tells you to figure it out. Which is what the anime did, but the anime moved at such a faster pace than this. Even if you didn't catch on to it, you can still get into the vibe and the atmosphere with this.
It's almost like every episode was its own self-contained story,
Right. So you can just watch it just by itself and it's but you still don't know about the whole overall world unless you've seen the entire series.
Yeah. If you watch it from beginning to end, then you get each character's backstory, and that is that underlying thread of their relationships and their bonding and their reluctant bonding,
right. And you almost got to watch the series twice for minimum.
Oh yeah.
Because the second time you watch, like, okay, now I'm learning more about the series. Now I can see what this meant that they said earlier that I didn't catch earlier. Because the series is almost like the cartoon's almost like a puzzle box. They give you pieces and pieces about what the backstory is. Because honestly, the bounty hunting on the show, the cowboying on the show is the least interesting thing.
Well,
The
yeah. And
yeah,
they're always fucking up. They're always like not getting the bounty, or they're fucking up the bounty, or they're letting them go, or
losing
whatever.
money and stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah.
They're struggling to eat. And that's like, again, it's the struggle,
Mhm.
to survive and to get more work. And that's the thing, is their past is always creeping back to haunt them throughout the whole
Right,
series, which is always causing them to lose their money and lose the bounties, and because they keep having to deal with their past.
right. So, and that's the thing. Like when the past comes back to haunt them, that's the thing. Even Ed, and we'll talk about Ed in a second also. But let's just slowly break down each character. I'm just fast through them real quick. We just talk about, like I said, we're gonna talk about Jet Black, wrong pick. Jet Black for a second. We're gonna talk about him. Like I said, nailed it. Everybody's pissed off. Why they make him black? Here's the thing. The essence of him is there. Like when he was on screen and he was talking, never in my mind doubt that I have to squint my eye and like, is that Jet Black? No, he was Jet Black. He nailed the character.
One of my favorite probably moments from this show where I felt they actually expanded on the anime
Mhm,
is when it went into he goes back and finds his old partner, because he's an
mhm,
ex-cop.
mhm,
And there's that flashback where they're in the car and they're talking about jazz. They're talking about Bird and Dizzy Gillespie, which were the bebop era jazz musicians. And that just,
mhm,
him just talking about how they're jamming off each other, which is sort of an expansion of what the show is about. I mean,
mhm.
bebop is a style of jazz music where it was
Right.
all like improv and jamming, and that sort of goes into the characters of the show. The show, they were constantly sort of improvising and making it up as they go,
Because they would
as
just
they
find
went.
themselves in situations
Yeah,
unplanned and they just, making it work.
yeah, just sort of surviving by their own wits. Having to sort of you know fly off the handle and just sort of improvise. How to
Mhm,
get out of the sticky situations.
mhm,
So I thought that was cool. It goes in the whole nature of all the characters. Spike knowing kung fu and quoting Bruce Lee, and you know, Jet sort of always like sort of jalopying everything together. Peppers
mhm.
and beef. There's no beef.
Even his arm,
Yeah,
right.
his arm is always in repair. The ships always need repair. You know, Faye is a degenerate gambler on
Right.
the anime. You know, and she's always
Completely
taking
different,
off.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
she's always taken off and broke. And of course, there's Ed, who is just this little quirky little zany character. And so I like that. Yeah, them talking about jazz and what jazz
mhm,
and jazz being the soundtrack of the show. That sort of film noir feel. I like that was probably one of the best scenes I think of the whole
mhm.
of the Netflix series. Like, oh, they're really
Like, they
again
don't hit it
paying
every time, but
tribute.
every now and then, yeah, they
Yeah,
hit the mark, so,
yeah,
yeah.
paying tribute to the show, paying
And
tribute
speaking
to the
speaking
anime.
of hitting the mark, John Cho, he nails it. I don't care what anybody say, he nails it
He
on
did.
here. Yeah, his and that's the thing about, like I'm saying, how can I hate this show when John Cho is putting as much effort as he is into this role? Because when he's on screen, I see Spike. Like people like he's the wrong guy to play it. He's too old to do that. Watch the show. He's Spike. Like he nails it. Action scenes, just his swagger, just his walk, everything like that. Just what you expect Spike to be. So he nails it. That being said, we gotta get to. Oh nope, I went to him. Where are we? Yeah, Faye Valentine. Now I know you liked her. A lot of people didn't.
I didn't mind her. No.
I'm one of those people that didn't. I don't like what they did with. I mean, I feel like this. She's the most changed character out of all of them.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
they made her just another bounty hunter.
they made nothing about her when she wasn't that.
Yeah,
And plus, we got to talk about Faye because yes, we got to address the elephant in the room. Faye was eye candy. On the cartoon. She was, like I said, adolescent boys. We were watching this shit. She's fan service. She's the male gaze, but it's part of her character. Like a lot of times, she was using her sexuality to get out of situations or even
Yeah.
get bounties. She wasn't sniping people like she was on the show. You know, she was using her femininity. She was a femme fatale. Like I said, they juggle so many genres. That was her part of the genre. She was a femme fatale in this crime noir genre.
My
Uh,
biggest beef with Faye
mhm.
is they didn't give her ship till the end because I
Right,
thought she had
like
the
the
coolest
second to
ship.
last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, she had the coolest ship. I loved her ship. You know,
Mm,
was it the Red Tail or whatever? Yeah, it was like a TIE
right.
fighter with Gatling guns on the side. I loved her ship, and as for the whole like half the episodes, I'm like, where's they first she was in just sort of like a jet,
Right.
and then I was like, they changed her ship, and then finally she got it.
But it
That
was a big
episode
reveal when she got it. You're like,
when it
oh,
went,
she finally
yeah,
got
it's, oh, there's her ship finally, but then she doesn't get to use it till like the last episode.
it. But it was effective when she finally got it. So
Yeah,
now, keep in mind when I say about sexuality and feminine women, I'm not talking about the actress body type and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. But like I said, if they really wanted to go that route, yes, this is impossible to find a body type like this. I mean, it's possible. I mean, there are plenty of cosplayers and or porn stars online that can fit the fit the body type, but we're not going there. My thing is that they changed her so much that they changed Faye Valentine from a femme fatale to Elaine from Seinfeld. I mean, that's pretty much what she is now. She goes from this sexy, flirty feminine to basically a wisecracking lesbian. So I'm just like, it's almost a bit too. And I understand they want to try to course correct what Faye did. Because if you really watch the old show, Faye never really helped out. She really got them into more trouble than anything else,
yeah, yeah.
you know. So
The-
I guess they were trying to course correct that. I guess that's why she was changed the most on the show, you know.
Yeah, I like I said, they changed so much that I was like, whatever. I
Right.
didn't really care. The only thing that really bugged me was Julia and Vicious. I didn't really mind what they did with Faye. I thought she was funny. She was like basically the Ed, almost. She added
Right.
like the bits of
I
humor,
Now that you mention that, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and I didn't mind that. Yeah, I mean, I was, like again, the emotional depth was missing. Her not, and they didn't do that towards the end. I mean, they didn't do it till the end where they finally, she doesn't remember who she is, because that was always her struggle. She didn't know who she was. She was struggling with her memory. She owed all these debts, and
And the debt thing's not
they
there.
didn't really touch on that towards the end. And by that time, I didn't really care. Because I already knew,
I was waiting for a Faye story. I like it finally got there, so
yeah. We know they had like Whitney, and that's not really her mom, but she's pretending that she was her mom, and they
I
kind of
like that storyline because it was almost like a
that.
dirty, rotten scoundrel type
Yeah,
storyline,
where it
so
was all a setup for her kinky fetish or whatever, and again, wacky, campy zaniness. That's what the show leaned into.
but the anime did it also. I mean, we
Yeah,
want to act like it was the Dark Knight, but come on, it had some
yeah,
goofy shit.
it did. But I'm saying what grounded the anime was that the tragedy of all the characters, and like Jet, going after his ex-girlfriend, and she's with that scumbag, and he lets her go, and the watch. I mean, that's one of the best scenes out of the series of his throwing away the watch. The time stands still. There's so much good writing. Faye watching that video and wondering who she is, and going to that planet. That hard luck woman. That episode is fucking heartbreaking. Especially when Ed leaves. Ed is this stupid, dumb, kind of a stupid character. But when she leaves, it's fucking heartbreaking.
Right, because she takes Ian with her also. So
And you find out
I get
how
it.
her dad is her dad is just as crazy as she is, and they humanize Ed. At first, she was just this stupid, leprechaun character, just
Mhm.
saying dumb shit. You don't know what she's talking about. She's, yes, the comic relief. But in that episode, you find out her past, and they humanize her, and then she leaves, and it's fucking heartbreaking. She gives the pinwheel to fucking Spike, who's like, I hate kids, I hate dogs. But here, she gives the fucking pinwheel to Spike. Spike puts it, oh God, it's giving me shivers. He puts it on the bow of the ship. see you, skip face cowgirl. Like, like in the end, he did give a shit. He did care about him. And then them eating eggs, when they're eating eggs, him and Jet are eating the eggs, and it starts out kind of stupid and kind of funny because they're just stuffing their faces with eggs, and then they finally realize Faye and Ed aren't coming, and then they start eating their eggs, and they're stuffing their face. They're eating their feelings. They can't express their emotions to each other, so they're just stuffing their faces. These chicks are not coming back. They left us. They feel like shit, and they're just eating. And it's such, like I'm saying, that's what was missing from the show. Like that heartbreaking, damaged beauty that the show had, that made everything matter. That's what I'm saying.
I disagree. Yeah. I disagree. Like I said, we're gonna have on it. Like I said, it did it as good as the anime. I'm not saying it, but there were moments in there where I felt like they were connected, because as far as a family, I don't think they got there because there was so much distrust, and towards the end, it finally came to a head. And I thought it was building all through the season. Something that wasn't in the anime.
Yeah. What I did like is Spike having to kill Vicious, but choosing not to.
Right.
That was pretty strong.
Right. Because he's like,
that's who Spike was. I'm not going to kill my brother who took me in, and he chose to
he'll
leave.
sleep with his wife, though. That's always a girl. So that's like, I won't kill my brother, but I'll sleep with his wife. It's like where's the code? But you know what? They said I think that's one of the points they're trying to make also, that there are no good guys. Yeah. Everybody's fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
I mean, she finally, that's the thing. They changed it. I mean, Julia didn't see what a scumbag Vicious was, until that night where he decides to kill the dude in the street, and freaked, oh my God, a guy named Vicious is an asshole.
Right. Well, I think she was like, I'm into the bad boys, but she didn't know what she was signing up.
Oh yeah, the bad. Like, how bad do you want?
Right.
You're thinking of Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing bad, not serial killer bad.
Right. She's like, oh, I went too far with this.
No, there's crazy, and then there's crazy.
Now we got to get into some more controversy on it, because, like I said, we talked about Ed. Now, this picture has been floating around, Eli, that pretty much killed this show if anybody hadn't seen it that's a fan of the show. Because like I said, we've seen Ed. This would look like an anime. This is what Ed looks like on the show. And when people saw that, just like, nope, I'm not even going to bother. And to be honest with you, Ed showing up at the very end in the last 5-6 minutes like that kind of killed the momentum of the show for me. I was like, ooh, that's what you have for Ed? That's what we expect for season 2? Oh, man. Because I was feeling good about it until then. I was like, oh, that's what live action Ed looks like. Okay, I see why they saved it. I see why they didn't show it,
That's what live action anything from the show.
No, that thing. See, the other stuff I could be like, okay, yeah, that works. That kind of works. That I'm just like, no, I don't want to see that.
By the time Ed showed up, I'm like, whatever. There's Ed.
I'm saying I was on a high for the show. I like, okay, that was a pretty solid ending. Then Ed showed like, oh no, don't do that.
Yeah, I thought by the time, what, Julia's trying to be a mob boss now? I was like, whatever. Yeah, and okay, 10 minutes left. Okay, so wrap it up so I can say I saw it.
Oh man,
that's kind of how
you liking it. It's not like you liking it less and less as you go along.
Like, do I plan on watching this again? No.
I probably will watch it again. That's the thing. Now I'm saying not the greatest thing ever, but at the same time, I'm watching it again also to compare it to the anime, because I'm also been watching the anime also. Now, anybody that hasn't seen it, watch the anime first if you haven't seen it. because you'll get more stuff, and it's just better crafted. And plus, if you just watch this by yourself, you're gonna be missing a lot. You're gonna be confused as hell about what's going on. So that's the thing about, like, say what you will about the Marvel movies, but you can watch a Marvel movie without knowing the source material. There's plenty of people that have watched the Iron Man 1 or Iron Man whatever, never read an Iron Man comic. There are people that watch every single MCU movie that have never read a comic, period. But as far as this, I don't think you're going to get into it if you never watch the anime. I think it's just going to be just too hard to grasp, too hard to get into. The entry level is too high. Because it's going to be, what does this mean? What does that mean? Why are they in Mars? Why are they in Venus? Some of the stuff you need to know. I think we just went with it because we already know the backstory and stuff like this.
Yeah, that back to what I was saying from the get-go. Why does this show need to exist? If you're trying to appease it for fans, well, you didn't.
But we
Fans are
watched
actually
it.
pissed off.
Pit
We
fans pissed
watched
off.
it.
But we watched it. That's the thing. We watched it. That's why they made it.
Yeah.
It's
We watched
number.
it.
I looked at on the Netflix ranking. It's number 3, not number 1, but number 3. You got what's number 1? Red
Tiger
Notice.
King.
Tiger King number 2. Tiger King number 2. So and then this. So that's why they made it. They need content to crank out. So
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
it tarnished the reputation of it, because sometimes a product can be so bad it can tarnish the reputation
Yeah,
of the
I don't think it's that bad.
yeah.
That's the thing. I think it's, like I said, it's good enough to if you never seen the anime and you watch this, oh, I'll go check out the anime. You know. So yeah, I like I said, I did like some stuff. I like, especially, I wish there was more dog fights, but I thought Spike's ship.
Did they have any
was
dog fights in this? I don't even remember one.
A little bit. You know,
That was
you
missing.
know,
That was missing.
yeah,
But
there was
the budget, you got it. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
like the anime doesn't have the budget like that. They can just do stuff like that. But in a live TV show, like, okay, you got to keep it on a set and say you're in Mars or in space somewhere, to save money. But yeah, but like I said, this is Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why people keep saying, like, make everything a TV show. Do you really want everything to be a TV show? Because they're going to stretch their budget out as much as they can.
Yeah.
At least with a movie, they're going to cram the shit in. You would have had dog fights in the Cowboy Bebop movie.
Yeah. I mean, I liked some of the stuff, but yeah, I think I didn't. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I saw what's going on Twitter, and yeah, the fans are shitting all over.
But they're shitting on it for different reasons, though. They're not even shitting on it because they don't like the show. They're shitting on it. I'll give you a reason. Now let's get back. Like I said, because it's controversial. Picking out stupid shit like this. And let me see if I can pull this up. I'm gonna let you and whoever else is watching this read it. Okay, so this scene right here, where where this is trending right now. Where Jet says, "Oh, that sounds like blackmail." So then Woodcock says, "Well, damn right it's blackmail because you're black and you're a male." So they're just like, "Oh, please don't tell me they said that. Please don't tell me they said that." I'm like, I didn't even really trip on it that much when I say, and I'm a black male. I didn't trip on it. So why is everybody getting sensitive about that shit? They're finding things to pick this movie about. Also, I'll give you another one. Like I said, we're going to address as much of the controversy as we can. Grin. Everybody's upset about Grin.
Yeah.
This is also trending.
Yeah.
Now, this is controversial. Like I said, Grin is a transgender. Grin is trans. In this show, Gwen is kind of trans also, but it's different.
It's
a different
involuntary.
Story.
It's like
it's involuntary. I don't think that would fly.
Are we gonna go?
Let's go there. Let's talk about it because it's okay.
I'm not from the trans community. I don't pretend to know their perspective. The LGBTQT. I'm not speaking for them, but originally I don't know. The original source material, Gren is more played as a freak.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh,
victim,
it's I don't know. Is it problematic nowadays?
That's what I'm saying. Has that aged 20 years later?
This is back in the 90s when they reveal Gren is, a transgender. It's played for shock value. Like, oh my God, he's a freak. He's a mutant. They did these experiments on him and took these drugs. He grew breasts. He's now a woman or a hermaphrodite or whatever.
And then Faye even straight up asked, Gren, are you a man or a woman? And they straight up said, I'm neither. So Gren was using pronouns before pronouns even a thing.
Yeah, and he was but it was involuntary.
Right.
So they played it as like a shock value. He's a freak. He's a mutant. That has not aged well. Now,
but people are pissed because it's not the exact same as it was.
Well, yeah, because they're saying that about Silence of the Lambs. They're saying it about Sleepaway Camp, where they're using transgender characters as they're crazy and psycho, and that, like I said, that's problematic now. I don't know. Has Gren aged? Is Gren problematic? Is that why they tried to change him? Her, them, they, whatever, whatever gender they identify with. I don't know. I do know that they seemed to be patting themselves on the back for it, and I
Now,
think
I didn't see any promotion about this.
I saw an article saying they changed, Gren's character. He's a binary character now, and now they're patting themselves on the back for it.
Mhm.
I saw that. I know some people are pissed off about that. I don't know. I didn't mind him, her, they.
I think
I
if
didn't
they
mind the
would have
change.
left it, I think if they would have left it like the source material, where Gren was experimented on against their will, you know, fed estrogen, got addicted to it, that definitely would have been problematic in
Yeah,
today's society. That
yeah.
you had all that done against your will,
Well,
but
I mean,
having
yeah,
yeah,
because that was involuntary. In this, he's it's his choice.
right.
You know.
So I
So
think I think this is the better way to go
I do. I didn't think
in
I didn't
today's
mind it.
climate, you know.
Yeah,
But
I didn't mind it.
but this is a big thing
Yeah,
on
because I saw like people from that community, from the trans community,
mhm,
mad about it, and
right.
they're using terminology that I don't understand. So like I said, I don't get it. I'm not the one to speak for that. You
Right,
know, so I don't know. Do they keep? Yeah, do we keep that problematic
right.
portrayal
Because
that's
keep in
over
mind,
20 years?
people are saying that Cowboy Bebop has gone woke. Cowboy Bebop was always woke. Like I said, we just talked about Green. They had another LGBT character, that trucker. You know,
Oh yeah,
hell, Ed is non-binary.
yeah.
Like
What
we
is that?
thought, we don't
Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
They didn't know. You know,
Edward Wong, Bartholomew, the four.
right? Even Ed's dad was like, "Hey, son or daughter, I don't know, I forgot." You know, so but that was played for laughs. But now you can't do this stuff anymore. But Ed was always a trans character, so
Yeah,
you can't say Cowboy was gone woke when they've always tackled these topics back in the '90s when you just didn't talk about that stuff then.
yeah,
You know, so I think I'm pretty sure there are more controversial topics popping up even while we're recording right now. But I, I think
yeah.
we're at a
They're
yeah.
people are ripping it apart and finding
Yeah, but I
things
think
not
they're
to
ripping it
say.
apart for the wrong reason. They're just
Yeah,
finding stuff, they're nitpicking.
yeah. I mean, I like I said, I went in with low expectations, thinking it was gonna suck. I didn't think it sucked,
Yeah.
and do I think it was necessary? I still don't think it's necessary. I don't think there's anything gained by making a live action Cowboy Bebop, but for the most part, I enjoyed what I saw. You know, it was as a fan, I was like, oh, let's see what they do. Oh, there's that. There's what the first episode when the elevator 3, 2, 1 it's going down the floors. Oh, here we go. Let's jam.
Mhm.
They hit the certain musical beats. Hearing Greenbird at the end while Spike's falling. Hearing the male version of Walking in the Rain.
Mhm.
Versus the female version in the anime. Some of those moments were there. That dialogue. I bled all that blood away. Then why are you still alive? I mean, that still gives me shivers. And it was there, and so there was still, like I said, it did just enough to keep me interested. But like I said, did I need this? No.
It's a good companion piece. That's all.
Yeah,
To compare.
yeah.
That's all.
It's yeah. It seems like they paid attention and they tried to embrace what the anime was. They didn't try to replicate it.
Mhm.
They embraced what it was. Tried to do their own thing. It's a cover song. They did a
Mhm.
cover song. Sometimes cover songs, are sometimes they try to make it their own and totally change it. Sometimes they just do it because it's fun, and that's what it seems like they did. They were
But
having
I
fun.
do feel like the showrunners of this show are fans of the anime.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're like with DC, like let's just throw this shit out, just so I feel like they were fanless on the source material, but kind of update stuff, like kind of update Faye, from this femme fatale to actually useful, update the outdated transgender, roles and things like that. So yeah,
and try to add like this backstory, mob story. Like, yeah, it was a mediocre mob story with Vicious and Julia, and that I don't think worked very well. But I like they try to do their own thing, and some of it worked, some of it didn't, but they tried. They
but I
put in
did
a good fourth effort.
but I did like the back mob story with Spike back when he was called Fearless, with Vicious,
Yeah.
that whole brother, basic Casino. It was Casino.
Yeah, Spike. Yeah, Spike's backstory was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But you needed all that exposition with Vicious and Julia to get to that point. That's the thing, because they would have just dropped you in there. It kind of would have been, I think too much at one time also. But at least it kind of eased you in there. Go, I know where they're going with these characters.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me. Like I said, different opinions. I think we are a little bit more lenient on this show than Twitter is right now. So
yeah. I mean, I've seen videos popping up and it's trash, it's cringy.
But it's always from the usual suspects. Also usual suspects because they get clicks. I should honestly, if I put, even though we like it, if I title this shit, Cowboy Bebop is woke trash, we'll probably get hits.
Oh yeah.
Even though we, just because we just said that because we just preached to the choir. But that being said, let's move on past that. Like I said, we talked enough about Cowboy Bebop. Let's see. I'm gonna just briefly talk about it because it was another topic I'll talk about it, but I'll talk about it later on. Moving to the Vidja gang section. I do want to talk about this. This shit. Let me see. No, we're not gonna talk about
that. What, the lizard? What'd you say?
Who punched the lizard? But we're not gonna talk about that.
Who punched the lizard?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even care. We were gonna talk about the No Home Spider-Man trailer or whatever. Screw it, don't care. I do want to talk about this. Yeah, Superman versus Arya Stark. Arya Stark. What's her name? Arya. Okay, so they got a new video game coming out called Multiversus, what like that, and it's like Warner Brothers Smash Brothers. Well, Warner Smash Brothers.
Lego movie.
The Lego movie, yeah. But it's a fighting game. So you got like Batman, Superman, Bugs Bunny, Arya Stark. And they said they got more characters coming also. And Shaggy. As they tease, they might even give him Ultra Instinct Shaggy, where he's going to be the most powerful character in the game. So that'll be pretty cool. That's all I want to address with that. Let me say, move on past that. All right. So, like I said, it's Comic Bullies, where we talk about the comic books. And I think we're just going to jump into it. And I think you got more books than me. I'm going to let you go first.
Really? I got more books?
I think so. Maybe.
Okay. I didn't think I had that many books.
No.
Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Nightwing, number 86.
Nightwing, number 86. I'll move it. Tom Taylor, y'all.
Tom Taylor wrapping up the Nightwing arc of... Oh, shit. I don't even have... Hold on. You know what? I don't even have anything ready. Hold up a sec. If I disappear, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Hopefully we don't just both disappear at the same time.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, there you go.
Okay. You can't throw it up there?
I don't know. I do it and then no, I can't. Or what is that?
Okay.
Oh, is that me?
No, I did it. That was me.
Well, can I get rid of it? I can.
But you could always get rid of it.
No, I couldn't.
You could.
No, not. That's the first time it stopped.
Okay, for listeners who don't know what we're talking about, I gave Eli admin status. Yeah.
I have upgraded my abilities.
But I guess we're having performance issues right now, so I guess the abilities aren't working like they should. But 1 out of 5, it happens. So
yeah. Nightwing number 86. Tom Taylor wrapping up Fear State, the Nightwing part of Fear State, where Dick Grayson went to Gotham to help out with all the magistrate and all that Fear State shit that's going on in the Batman arc, and he helps Batgirl and who's it, Orphan, and a couple other folks there. Kick ass. They beat a bunch of peacemakers, those robot cops that they got going on in Fear State.
Nice.
And what was that AI chick? I forget her name. Anyways, she escaped.
LCD or something?
She escaped. No, the one that was like hacking into the system. She escaped. So it's done. We're gonna have a new arc coming up. next issue. I'm just glad Fear State is wrapping up because I haven't gave a shit about that in about 6
Is
months.
Batman back, like real Batman, or
No, not yet. I think it's still going on, but I guess Joshua Williamson is taking over Batman.
Oh, so Tinian's done. That's right. I
Tinian's
forgot.
done.
So,
Yeah,
Tinian's done. Okay, all right.
So that's coming soon. So 4 out of 5. No, Tom Taylor's Nightwing run is it's been fun. So yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
All right. Slap score on it, or if you don't,
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm up next, and this is the issue.
Wait. Here we go. Boom! I did.
No. You could always do that.
I know. I couldn't.
No, you okay.
I could do it from here. I could never do it from there.
Whoa. Okay, so you did upgrade. You have powered up.
I have.
Okay.
I got a new. Some new toys in my
Unlimited
in my
power.
utility belt. Yeah.
All right. So this is the issue where this is the penultimate issue of Superman, Son of Kal-El. We have been hyping this up for the longest, and now it finally happens. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, drum roll, please. Because I'm gonna because here's the thing, Eli. What I noticed, I thought this was actually kind of funny, is that DC actually gave a warning. They almost gave a warning label on it, but without giving a warning label. I'm gonna show you what they did. Okay, so you probably can't see it right here, but watch when I do.
I'm gonna pull it up.
No, watch when I do this. Watch when I do this. Okay, so I'm zooming in, right?
Yeah.
Take a look at it. You see that? That wasn't there before.
What, the Pride?
That wasn't there before. It didn't say Pride because they put the Pride logo on all their Pride books, all their LGBT books. So before, when they first started doing Superman Son of Kal-El, you can look back on it. It didn't have the Pride logo on it. This book has the Pride logo on it, so it's letting you know when you open this book, it's rated D for dude on dude. So here we go. All right. So what do we got? Shrink you back down. Oh no, we're gonna leave you up. Anyway, what's going on with this book? So the last book, like I said, President Bendix hit Superman, John, with a solar flare. He hit him with a solar flare. So all his powers like amped up to the max. He can see, hear, smell, taste everything. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna just save everybody. So the whole book is him, since his powers are just amped up all to the max. He just goes everywhere and just saves as many people as he can, because every time he stops, he still hears them screaming. So he goes to the city with the flood and saves every individual person. But he has to be careful because since his like senses are so powered up, he can actually hurt somebody by touching them, because he can't control it. Like I said, he goes to Africa, beats up some people, goes to Costa Rica, hola, he knows every single language. She wants to take a flying, he takes a chick flying, I don't know if this was a COVID thing or not. Basically the doctor's saying, I don't have enough I don't have enough beds for patients, and they keep coming in. So Superman takes them all, he just picks up the bridge and takes them all to another hospital, to save them where they do have patients. And he's got his COVID mask on also. I don't know if this has anything to do with COVID or the pandemic. They don't mention it, but let's just go.
I don't know why Superman needs a mask.
I mean, I'm sure if Superman sneezes, you can still get COVID. He can still pass COVID, maybe,
But I suppose if he gets it, he'll give you super COVID.
You can't get rid of that shit. So, So like I said, so Superman, John flies off. He sees a guy on his phone going. He grabs him, snatches him out of the way, but breaks his arm. You're like, fucker, you broke my arm. Put out of place because he can't control himself because he's still amped up and powered up and stuff like that. So he too much input is coming on, so he just flies off. And then that's when one of those Gamorreans, whatever like that, tells him Jay wants to see you. So he goes to see Jay, and Jay says, "Don't worry, I'll help you out. I know how to save you. To make it." So basically, John just goes to sleep, because basically what's going on is that since he's so powered up and it's starting to come down, he's running low on juice. Kind of like when you go running 4 miles or 5 miles like that, and you tired afterwards. Same thing with him. He's like, well, my dad never did that. Like, you're not your dad. You're half Kryptonian. You might have limits he don't have. So John just goes.
You get tired.
Right. You get tired. So he wakes up, and basically how Jay solved the problem of having all the input coming in, he put on noise canceling headphones. Why didn't Anybody else think of that? I don't know, but that's what happened. So no special Batman, Bruce Wayne tech headphones, just Apple, Bose, shit like that. And they sit there on the coach, and he was like, "Look, you don't have to save me. You can save everybody else, but I can take care of myself." And then they just stare at each other's eyes, and here it comes, people. I'm warning you. Turn away, avert your eyes. Look away, Eli. It's coming. Boom. In all its glory. Superman has a
Look at
boyfriend.
that, just sweet.
Yeah, so they look at each other. But the thing is, Superman still has some other stuff going on. So he got some flies off. He just like, it's an armed robbery. I gotta stop it. He like, it's not you, it's an armed robbery, So
Here,
they get
hold on to my cape.
hold on to my cape while ago, my Letterman jacket,
Yeah.
like,
Just sweet.
and they fly off, and that's it, So yeah, is everybody okay? Did everybody make it? I gave you fair warning before it happened, so
Yeah. No matter what way you swing, whatever your sexual orientation is, this shit was still corny. I was saying right off the bat when he's like, I can hear everybody screaming, I can't shut it out. Right off the bat, I know where this is going. Old boy's gonna say, I can help you focus on me. I'll be your anchor.
But
I knew right away.
He didn't do that though. He didn't do that. He just put Norcan's headphones, but that would have made.
Yeah. So
he thought he could do like Ma Kent, shit like that. You remind me of my mom, like that.
You complete me.
But
yeah, this was cute.
Yeah, that's all. It's a thing. Somebody got a boyfriend. Okay. Yeah. So
the underworld, we're still alive.
We're still alive,
the sky's not falling.
Soon as we say that, then watch my computer shut down, like the pocket just cut off all of a sudden.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, your kids are fine.
Computer like overloading, too much gayness.
Yeah, your kids will survive 2 boys kissing.
Right.
All the violence and murder they see every day on TV is fine, but don't show 2 dudes.
Right. They can play Grand Theft Auto for 10 hours a day, but Lord help if they see 2 dudes kissing,
Yeah. Call of Duty, headshots.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. So what you got next?
What do I have next? Primordial. Okay. Let's see what we got. Primordial. Jeff Lemire, yo.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I get a bad rap for that. They already look at me like the Jeff Lemire haters. So let me know.
Jeff Lemire, Andrew Sorrentino. So this is the guys who did. What was that fucking Rutherford Falls? Or what's that?
Whatever shit Falls. That y'all suck Jeff Lemire's dick on. I don't know. Yeah, that shit.
That one book that Gomer loved, the haunted barn story.
Sure.
Basically the same team, the same art style, but this is less ghost story, more super alien sci-fi. So this is basically goes back to when NASA and the Russians. So the Russians launched a dog into space, Sputnik or whatever. The dog launched a dog into space, and a couple years later, the U.S. launched 2 monkeys into space. Well, they thought they died in space, never came back. Turns out they're still alive. So a few years later, one of the NASA scientists gets a call from like the KGB and basically finds out, hey, those monkeys, they're still alive. They were taken. And
so they have superpowers, or
well, we don't know. This is more like a crime sort of sci-fi noir. It's like a detective story.
So the dog didn't get telekinetic powers like on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, it did. But it's not, it's not as marvelly.
All right. Let's test your powers.
It's less Guardians of the Galaxy, more 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay. Let's test your powers, Eli. Let's see if you can bring up the screen.
Did I not bring it up? Oh.
Use the Force.
Oh yeah, watch this shit.
Let's see if you can do it. Rise.
Come on. Not stop screen.
Rise.
Come on, yo. No, I can't. Where'd it go? I
Ah,
can't.
damn it. Okay.
No, what? It's not letting me. Stop screen. Oh, it left.
You took it off. You took it
I
off.
took it off.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's not letting me bring it up. It let me See, it pops up there.
Okay, it's there, but you can't bring it up.
But I can't. Yeah, it's where. Let's see.
Okay.
No, it's not letting me. It's got. Okay, what was this now? Remove from stream. Oh, I'm about to like kick myself off the show.
Really test your powers. Okay. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Here we
Yeah,
go.
so I can't pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll give me it'll let me, it'll let me take it off now. But it wasn't let me like bring it up. So I'm still limited. Yeah.
we'll fix it. I'll make a phone call with you.
So yeah, so this is the animals got sucked into whatever space odyssey wormhole alien thingy. We don't know. They're in some weird dimension like this. You know, as you can see, it's all white background. Like I said, very Stanley Kubrick, and they can kind of communicate to each other through I don't know if they're actually speaking or if it's like it's telepathy, but yeah, the dogs and the monkeys are speaking to each other, and yeah, so that's going on, and the scientists are trying to uncover what has happened to the space program, because obviously the government covered it up, and they're being chased by the government, the KGB or whoever, you know. So it's sort of a detective story, film noir mixed with sci-fi, and I'm digging it. This is number 3, so I'm digging this story. So
Okay.
4 out of 5. Jeff Lemire.
4 out of 4. That's it? Just 4 out of 5?
4 out of 4.
You already know Gomer and This Geeks and Comics. I haven't even read it, and it's 6.5 out of 5 because it's Jeff Lemire. You know?
Yeah, no, this is cool. I'm digging this. So.
Cool. All right. So what do we got next? We got next book we're gonna read is Shang-Chi, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, I did read this.
Look, his mama called him Shang-Chi. I'm gonna call him Shang-Chi. So I'm get mad at him all you want to. So this is the last issue of the current story arc, Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe. So, and they ended with a banger. Because like I said, he's been fighting Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine. Now Thor is on the cover. So, like I said, we know Shang-Chi has plot armor, but I mean, this is the God of Thunder. He killed Galactus.
Right off the bat, second panel, we know what's going to happen.
We know what's going to happen. So let's just move right into this bad boy, see what we got. So, like I said, the story basically goes that the Avengers are tired of Shang-Chi shit. They know he lied. They feel like he lied to them. So they just go to his house. You know, just like, okay, Shang-Chi, where's the Cosmic Cube? You said you gave it to us. You didn't give it to us. So where is it? You know, so they fly down. He's like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. We gave you the Cosmic Cube. You lost it. That's your problem. You know, and Tony's just like, look, fuck all this playing around. Handle the Cosmic Cube right now, or we're going to tear your house apart brick by brick. And Shang-Chi turned to his brother. He's just like, look, you gave it back to him, right? You're like, yeah, I gave it back to him. You're like, okay, well, my brother said he gave it back to you. So get the hell off my property, or we're going to have a problem. And boom, it kicks him in the face, you know. And you know, and then they just go into it. So brother, whatever his name goes into it,
sister sword or whatever.
Yeah, Sister Spear, you know, and Reed just like, oh, that is fascinating. What is this? You know, he ain't even into the fight. He just want to know what she's doing, you know. Spider-Man, and then, you know, Sister Dagger just like, stop shooting me, snot shooter. You're like, I'm not snot shooter, I'm Spider-Man, you know. And then Iron Man like, look, you beat my ass last time. I ain't gonna take it easy on you this time. I'm going full force at you. You're like, you don't know what you're doing. And then brother Spear, brother, what's his name? Saber? Brother Saber. Brother Saber just like, yeah. He just like, yeah. And they was like, Iron Man, look, I'm tired of playing with y'all. Bring down the thunder. Boom. Thor shows up. And Thor just like, all right, look, the Avengers told you to stand down and stop fighting. Now I'm here. Y'all stop fighting. And Shang-Chi just, and then he like breaks out the side of the house. He was like, look, and I ain't gonna ask you twice. I'm gonna ask you one time. Y'all stop fighting. You know, and then that's when Brother Saber runs off. He was like, okay, cool. So he runs off, and his sister like making fun of him and shit. You know, like, well, how the hell you gonna run off in a fight when we in the middle of a fight fighting the Avengers? You know, so Thor just, you know, Shang-Chi sends like his goons and what, like his henchmen and shit. Thor just wipes the floor with these guys like they're nothing, knocks his sister out, knocks Sister Spear out, Sister Staff. And then Sister Dagger tries to go there, and she's like, I'm gonna stab his eyes out. And then that's when brother the brother shows up, and he's got this sword. And I forgot to tell you that the sword is a sword that they said their dad made, which is like a essence of their thunder god, like the god of blades and thunder, like from them. And he remade the sword, but he don't know if it works or not. And he throws it to Shang-Chi, and she's like, I thought you said the sword didn't work. You're like, I lied. Sword works. So he feels the power like of the Chinese thunder god is with him, and Thor just like, I don't care what kind of power you got. Right, pulling out his sword. He's fighting He-Man, somebody well.
By the power of Grayskull.
And so Thor just talking shit to him. He like, look, Shang-Chi, yeah, you may be the baddest fighter on the planet and shit like that, but you are a mortal. And what you think you can do it against the god of thunder? And then Shang-Chi pulls the sword out and starts powering up himself. He's just like, reading, right?
Mortal Kombat.
And then he slaps him like, look, you're not the only god of thunder, because he got the power of the god of thunder here. So, and the Avengers like, what the fuck? Like, he's hanging with Thor, So then they start slashing each other and shit like that. And Thor just like, oh, okay, you got some good shots in, okay, but I'm still Thor. You're willing power you don't really know how to handle, and like that you don't have no idea what it's going against. And Shang-Chi talking shit like, oh, and then he does like this quick slash, like his, like bam, catches him, like ching, like on Ninja Gaiden, even cuts like a little bit his hair, his locks back there, He's like, well, maybe you don't know what you're dealing with either, Thor. And Thor's just like, oh, this motherfucker, okay. You want to cut people, okay? So then Thor starts powering up again, and then the Avengers like they going at it. They were like, okay, let's fight. So Thor is like going full force. At first, Thor was holding back. Now he's going all out, and they're fighting. And then Thor blasts the sword out of his hand, and he was like, look, you ain't got no sword. Stop all this shit now. You can't fight me without the sword. I don't care how good you are. Like, fist can't beat my hand. Can't beat me. So Shang-Chi just blinks and the sword comes back in his hand. And Thor's like, I didn't even see you do that shit. Like, I know you're not that fast that I can't see you. He was like, maybe. He was like, make Thor's hammer melt. And the Thor hammer and the hammer starts melting. And Shang-Chi started realizing, oh, that's what happened. And he talks to his brother. You lied about the Cosmic Cube, didn't you? He was like, maybe. Because this is the Cosmic Cube in it. So he turns the sword back in the Cosmic Cube. So that's what happened. He wished to have the sword of the thunder god, Chinese thunder god. So that's why he was able to hang with Thor. So he just gave the Cosmic Cube back to back to the Avengers. And then he yelled at his brother. He was like, why you do that shit? He was like, why you do that shit? You embarrassed us in front of our guests over there. You're gonna give this power to them when you could have kept it within the family, so they getting into it right now. He was like, look, I don't give a damn. He turns his brother over to the Avengers. They're like, get the hell out of my sight, So they take him and they take the Cosmic Cube, and the rest of his family look at him is like, man, what the fuck you just do? And Shang-Chi's like, man, I always knew I could trust you. He's like, well, your friends don't agree with you. And Spider-Man like, I thought they were our friends, And then that's like, because you remember Reed and Tony, anytime they get together, it's always some fuck shit. And he was just like, what, you think he turned his brother over just to like as his fall guy? And Tony like, that's exactly what I think he did. So basically like Trump. Everybody getting arrested around him but him, All right, so I would just get past it anyway. And basically, now his family's pissed at him because he turned his brother over. So nobody trusts him. And I guess his uncle is back from the dead. And so his uncle has been the one that's been, getting all his enemies together and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what's going on. So awesome arc. However, I think I'm jumping off the train.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was a good arc. I think I got enough of where the storyline's going. Now it's going to go into some whatever. I don't really give a fuck about him fighting his evil uncle. But him fighting Wolverine and Thor, that got me. So,
after reading all those 70s comics for the past 2 months.
Exactly. I had my feel of Shang-Chi. So yeah. So unless they do something just amazing in this arc to get me back, I think I'm jumping off the train. But yeah. So
I'll probably stick with it,
I might pick up the next issue just to see it. If it don't catch me, I will. If it stick with it, But that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you got next?
Let me see. Let me get the image. This is Army of Darkness, 1979, number 3.
Army of Darkness 1979, number 3. Let's see. I think that's this one. Yeah, that one. All right, let me throw you up there. All right, there you go.
All right. So this is Ash from Evil Dead. So he gets sucked back into some time warp to 1979 in the Bronx, New York City, and he's fighting, or he teams up with a bunch of street gangs. So it's basically the Warriors meets Evil Dead. Bunch of street gangs, fighting for their little piece of turf. And one gang called the Half-Deads or whatever, they get hold of the Necronomicon, and they're using the book to, whip all the gang's asses. This guy's like doing all these spells. He's like melting people on like spot. You're melted, And Ash teams up with their rival gangs, and they're helping, to fight them. This particular issue, they fight a gang called the Carol Brady's.
Was that the middle one or was that the youngest one? Oh,
no,
that's the mom. That was the mom. Okay, the mom.
So it's a gang of middle-aged white ladies.
Okay.
Basically a gang of Karens. Basically.
Yeah, they were saying Karen would be better because when I think Karen Brady, I'm thinking like, okay, you got a bunch of milfs. You gonna have to. But,
yeah, and they just fight this gang of old ladies. It's Army of Darkness, just campy, dumb shit. If you're an Evil Dead fan, it's fun. It's it's got Ash blowing off demons' heads and sawing off dismemberment, chainsaw dismemberment. Only it's mixed with street gangs in New York now. So yeah, I'm having fun with it. 4 out of 5. It's number 3. Yeah, it's Evil Dead. If you're an Evil Dead fan, you'll dig it. So, and that's basically what these, Dynamite's doing with the comics. The Army of Darkness comics. So
cool.
It's not all titties, and it's got some Ash too. Because they're doing Dynamite. They're doing like Betty Page and Vampirella
and Red Sonja,
and Elvira, and all that shit.
Yeah.
They're doing the Purgatory. They're like doing Lady Death comics.
Lady
again.
Death, yeah.
Yeah, so they got all those. So it isn't just a bunch of, big titty comics. It's
all the books we read when we were 14. We go to the comic section. One book for Lady Death? Vampirella? Hey, do we got any more Vampirella comics back there for this 14-year-old kid? Okay. Anyway.
So yeah. And I'm booked out.
Okay. I got one more, but this is an oldie. An oldie but good. The reason I'm doing this old one, because next Tuesday, the Hawkeye book comes out.
Tuesday? This coming Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday, yeah.
Okay.
The Hawkeye episode 1 and 2 will debut. Now, one thing, okay. So one thing I did notice from the trailer alone, they are borrowing heavily from the Matt Fraction comic series. Okay. So I decided to review one of the books from that Matt Fraction comic. We'll go from there. So this is Hawkeye issue 3. Hawkeye issue 3.
That didn't come out that long ago.
Yeah, right. I said oldie, but it's not really oldie. When did it come out?
Yeah, you were taking it back to the day.
Like 1973 when he had like a bell bottom and pork chop
sugar
sideburns
pie,
and
honey
shit.
bun, sugar pie, honey bun.
Oh no, he fighting pimps and shit. Like no, nothing like that. So this is back in 2012. This came from 2012. So 10 years ago. So time flies.
Before there was an MCU, remember them days?
This was when MCU was starting to get started, But
before it became a thing.
Before it became a thing. Well, I feel like this is when it became a thing. Like this dropped the same year. Like it's all connected. But where are we going with this? Okay. So the book starts off with Hawkeye, and the book both stars both Clint and Kate. They're both in the book. And they basically got a redhead chick, not Black Widow, a redhead chick tied up in the back seat, and they're getting shot at by some goons in Ford Mini Coopers. They're in a 1970 Dodge Charger. Now, this is how the book starts off. And it's basically one of those like hood movies. I bet you want to know how I got in this situation. Because the issue before this is about something completely different. This is like I said, this is a completely different a standalone book. It's a standalone story. So basically how we got here is that Kate and Clint are basically like looking at arrows. They're doing like arrow stuff like that. She don't use trick arrows. She uses like regular ass arrows. And she's like, "Can I borrow this arrow?" Like, no, it'll hurt you. Can I borrow this arrow? No, it'll hurt you. No. And they got the dog there too, like Pizza Dog. He's gonna be in the show also. So yeah. And the thing is, so this Dodge Charger. Oh no, this is basically now we're going back to present day, and they're still fighting off these guys, and he shoots them with an acid arrow, and he like fucks up the hood engine on the car. Oh yeah, this part right here. Okay, so back in the past, because the book kind of like goes back and forth. So Hawkeye walks out, sees a 1970 Dodge Charger. He's like, "Oh, that is the prettiest car I've ever seen before. That's a Dodge Charger." And he sees the redhead chick that was tied up earlier, and she's leaving town. And she was like, "How much you want for the car?" He was like, "Oh, I think he said like 2,000 or something like that." He was like, "Oh, for real? Let me go upstairs and go get the money real quick." So I just cut to the end, not to the end, but to the next part. So when they cut there. He sees 4 Mini Coopers outside of his car. I mean, outside of his apartment complex. And of course, they worked out the payment on how they're going to pay for the Dodge Charger, you know. And basically just like, who are these 4 Mini Coopers out there? Are they going to beat you for the Dodge Charger? And anyway, they break inside, and it is the tracksuit Draculas. They're not Draculas. They're going to be in the show also, but they call them tracksuit Dracula because they're just the Russian mob, basically. That's what they call them. So they come in there shooting with guns and shit like that. And you get this iconic shot of Hawkeye dodging with nudity, but he's got like the Hawkeye little emblem like right in front of him, like to stop it from getting bleeped out. So they're fighting, and he's just grabbing everything in there and just smacking them with the head, lampposts, lights, dumbbells, but like that. But so they knock him out and just leave him naked on the floor while they kidnap the girl and take her. You know. So he rings on the phone, he calls Kate. Kate and Pizza Dog, goes after him. So she's in the back. Kate drives up in a VW Beetle, and they just go after her. So while they're going after her, Hawkeye using all kind of trick arrows, shit like that. So you get, and they smash in because they finally get it. They get her out the car, go in the Dodge Charger. And basically the rest of the book is just one big chase where Hawkeye's just using every trick arrow he's got in the book, just taking them all out. Trick arrows, sonic arrows, explosive arrows,
Too
all
fast,
of how
too
fast, too furious. I mean, just some awesome shots in here. And since all the Mini Coopers are labeled, each one he takes out, you can see him. So he's got like 2 left, and he's taking them out. He chops the car hood off one of them. And then one's left. They're on the highway, Brooklyn Bridge, but like that rocket arrow blows that one up. But then I think they wrecked the Dodge Charger also. So they're both just on the bridge.
Oh, that's the Manhattan Bridge, or it could be the George Washington.
You would know better than I would. And I've never been there. You probably have been on there or stuff like that. So they crash. They both crash. The Mini Cooper and the Dodge Charger crash. Clint finally wakes up, and he's got a Uzi in front of him. Like, "What's up, bro?" And that's the thing. The tracksuit driver, all they say is, "Bro, what's up, bro? You messing with me, bro?" And then he's got a gun at him. He's got a gun at Kate. Kate's got an arrow pointed at him. He's got another gun pointed at Clint. And he's basically saying, "Give me back the girl, and I won't shoot this." And he says in Russian some stuff that they bleeped out on there. So Kate just like, whatever. But she has Clint's arrow. Yeah.
I forgot
So
to
and
share
then
out the link. What a moron.
oh, okay. Well, they'll catch when you get to it. So she shoots off the arrow, shoots off the arrow, and then it swings back around because it's a boomerang arrow and hits him in the back of the head. So he's down. So that's pretty much the book. She goes to the airport, and this is pretty much Clint's kind of sort of love interest through the rest of the book, but not really. And yeah, that's a book. I just thought it was an interesting book because there was so much imagery that I saw from just that trailer that came just from this one issue. But there's all kind of stuff that happened in that series that they're really digging into that Matt Fraction book. So I'm excited to see what they do with this Hawkeye series, if that's the route they're going to go. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And now not because Echo is in it, even though she hasn't in any of the trailers. But no,
they're saving her, I mean, they've already announced a TV show, so you could probably just skip Hawkeye altogether. Just wait for that,
No, I want to see. I actually want to see what they're doing. Yeah, I want to see this. I'm more excited about this than Loki.
I am too. I would like everybody loved Loki. I was just like,
I did not love Loki. I didn't even watch all of Loki.
You didn't even watch it, so when I told you like Kane the Conqueror show, you're like, wait, what? Yeah. But like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Like I had, we have our other podcast. I guess everybody just have a awesome Thanksgiving and safe Black Friday. Even though I know saying safe Black Friday means nothing because nowadays, everybody just shops online.
Cyber Monday.
Cyber Mondays like that. So like the fist fights in Walmarts, that's last decade. Nobody
They still do
anymore.
that? Do people still
Nobody
fight
does
over
that
shit?
anymore. Yeah, nobody fights over stuff anymore, Plus, it's a shortage everywhere. You can't even find stuff anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, we were fighting over toilet paper last year.
Right. Now fighting over PS5s that nobody can get. So yeah, but we'll have some new stuff next week. I don't know what we're gonna have. It's gonna be a busy week, so we'll just squeeze it in best way we can. Now that I am back in my place and I have another computer that's up and working, that seems to be working, it didn't cut off on me. I'll start cranking out more content throughout the week. I've been kind of like light on it because of my living situation, but I'll start ramping it back up again. So
Yeah, because what Oh well, no. I'm probably not going to go see Resident Evil.
Well, shit. If you not, I'm not. Shit. I was only if you see it, I was going to see it. If you didn't see it, I'm not going to see it.
Yeah,
but
no. The Twin Cities is like one of the worst cities for COVID right now. So.
So you are Raccoon City? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I ain't getting sick for Resident Evil.
you live in what's that shit? Pee Wee Herman said, "I don't have to watch the movie. I live it."
Yeah.
All right. But until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel, and rest in peace, Young Dolph.
Rich.
High class street music.
I don't fuck with these niggas cause they shady. These bitches, they just wanna have my baby. Born in the 80s, crack baby. Damn. Mama, she was in the street, so guess who raised me? You motherfucking right, couldn't get it from my mama, so I got it off the block. Been working my whole life, but I ain't never punched a clock. 9 years old, I seen a nigga get shot. Damn. Niggas quick to run they mouth when they get jammed. Pussy ass nigga, tell it on his own fam. The same nigga that you break your neck for. Be the same nigga that cross you out and wet you up. Supposed to be chasing money, but you chasing bitches. Real bosses don't talk, we just sit back and listen. Stack that paper up and then make boss moves. She like to argue, so I sent that bitch to law school. Keep it real with your dog no matter what. Preach. Same bitch decline, she love you, she'll set you up. Preach. Out here in these streets, it ain't no such thing as love. Preach. The only thing I trust is this pistol and these slugs. Preach. Real nigga shit, only when I do speak. If that nigga don't work, he a fucking leech. Preach. I ain't got shit for a nigga, ain't nothing in this motherfucking world free. Preach. Zay got the motherfucking bass thumping. Dolph got the motherfucking trap jumping. Doors to the trap open, now I sell you something. Hell no, don't ask, I ain't frontin' nothing. I fucked your bitch and told her I'll see you around. Dog just skipped town with 200,000. Dog just pulled an 8 in a 2-liter pop. They say Dolph addicted to these streets just like his pops. Addicted to hustling, I can't stop. Won't stop. Can't stop. Never hear me complain about what I ain't got. Cause if I want it, I'ma go get it. Yeah. Free my nigga, yo, did it. Got paper round tatted on your whole titty. Same nigga you getting high with, he really your enemy. Every day niggas cross their partners out for Benjamin. Your dog no matter what. Preach. Same bitch decline, she love you, she'll set you up. Preach. Out here in these streets, it ain't no such thing as love. Preach. The only thing I trust is this pistol and these slugs. Preach. Real nigga shit, only when I do speak. If that nigga don't work, he a fucking leech. Preach.